Recap in minutes. In today's video, we will be going through an action-adventure film entitled The Expendables. There will be spoilers ahead, chill out and enjoy. The film begins with a group of elite mercenaries called the Expendables, deploying to the Gulf of Aden off the coast of Somalia to do their mission to stop local pirates from executing hostages that have been held for 3 months. The team consists of leader Barney Ross, a former SAS soldier, blade specialist Lee Christmas, martial artist Yin Yang, sniper gunner Jensen, weapons specialist Hail Caesar, and demolitions expert Toll Road. As the pirate leader prepares to kill one of the hostages, multiple red dots appear pointed at him. The leader's men immediately aim their rifles up, ready to pull the trigger anytime. Barney drops the bag containing $3 million and instructs the leader to release the hostages. However, the greedy pirate leader wants $2 more million for the hostages' lives. Nevertheless, Barney insists he releases the hostage, and when the leader refuses, Gun's temper strikes. Barney attempts to stop him, but Gun executes the pirate leader with one bullet, instigating a firefight with the pirates. The Expendables throw smoke grenades before breaking the lights, putting on their night vision goggles, and shooting the pirates. The team then slides down on the ground with ropes to release the hostages when one of the pirates turns on the generator. Barney gives the pirates one last chance, but they still insist on getting the money. So, Barney kills 4 of them with his bullets while Christmas executes the remaining 2 pirates with his blade. As they prepare to release the hostage, Gun intervenes and tells them he will hang one of the pirates, which is seriously demented. Barney attempts to stop Gunner by calmly talking to him, but when Gunner refuses to listen, Yang prompts a physical fight. As they fight over moral disagreements, Barney intervenes by pointing his gun at Gunner's head and calmly instructs him to let Yang go, which he does. As a result of his psychological problems, Barney reluctantly removes Gunner from the team. That night, Christmas visits his girlfriend, Lacey, only to discover that she has left him for another man. Lacey reasons out that she has known him for a year and a half, yet she doesn't even know what he does for a living. It's like there's this high wall she can't break. Meanwhile, Barney meets another vital member of the team, Tool. He serves as the recruitment liaison, armorer, and tattoo artist for the Expendables. While finishing Barney's back tattoo, Christmas arrives, and Tool challenges him to a dart game, which he reluctantly accepts. Christmas throws his blade out but misses the target, so Tool takes his turn and hits the board center with one slick throw of his pocket knife, confusing Barney. Christmas has never lost playing the game, and it's the first time he did, which means something's up. On the other hand, on the island of Vilena, a truck of soldiers stops by a palace and reports to their general, Garza, that they have the town's traitors. The traitors are taken down a tunnel, where Garza confronts them for stealing something from him. The traitors swear on their children's lives that they have not taken anything, but Garza refuses to believe that. He threatens to kill them when someone behind him suddenly pulls the trigger on of the traitors. The man in a fancy suit is James Monroe, and he instructs Garza to kill the other traitors to earn his men's respect. Garza reluctantly pulls his trigger. On the other hand, Barney meets with a client who insists on being called Mr. Church. Barney also reunites with an old friend and a rival mercenary, Trench. Church offers them a contract to overthrow a brutal dictator, General Garza, from Vilena on an island in the Gulf of Mexico. Occupied with other things, Trench tells Church to give the job to Barney. Realizing that everyone else has passed on the job, Barney wants $5 million, and he wants half up front while the other half is in an offshore account. Church agrees with this and threatens to kill his team into pieces if he doesn't deliver the job as expected. Barney returns to their hideout to analyze and study the map of Vilena when Gunner appears. Gunner asks not to be replaced and insists that he's still good to work, but Barney refuses as Gunner's still using drugs. Offended, Gunner threatens him to be careful, which he dismisses. Later that night, Barney discusses the Vilena job with his team, and hours later, they arrive at the coast of the beautiful Vilena. Barney and Christmas tie their big plane to the port before proceeding to the bureau. They give their fake passports to the guard in charge and lie about being ornithologists and using the plane to transport injured animals. While on the way to a bar, Barney and Christmas hide in the blind spot as the army arrives. Christmas subtly videography as the army mercilessly destroys the townspeople's source of living. After that, the duo goes to a bar, where they meet Church's contact, Sandra. Sandra takes them over to her truck, and while roaming, she informs them that Vilena was once a beautiful place. However, an American came, General Garza sold his soul, and people who attempted to resist the corrupted government were killed mercilessly. Sandra claims her parents have died, but she still believes everything will return to normal, and they can live their lives again. Barney asks Sandra to drive near the palace to see the view, which she reluctantly does. Near the palace, Christmas gets out of the truck as he wants to look at the spectacle differently. Sandra and Barney soon arrive near the palace. As he analyzes the surroundings, Barney confronts Sandra about the possibility of setting up. Sandra denies the accusations and clarifies that she only wants to help the townspeople of Vilena. Barney tells her that Vilena cannot be helped and advises her to leave the place. A truckload of Garza's soldiers suddenly arrives, and one of them grabs Sandra and tells her that even the general's daughter can be shot if she disobeys the law and the warning. He drags Sandra to their truck, but Barney and Christmas kill them before he can do so. They immediately drive away as Monroe and his men are informed about what happened at the palace. They arrive at the port within minutes, and Barney instructs Christmas to take Sandra to the plane and wait for a minute while he deals with Monroe and his men. Christmas opens the door, but Sandra refuses to come in and insists she stays because she belongs in Vilena. Left with no choice, Christmas lets her go and starts up the machine. As the guards prepare to shoot the plane, Barney appears and pulls the trigger on them. On the other hand, Sandra hides in her truck as Monroe passes by to catch and stop Barney. Christmas maneuvers the plane away from the port as Barney quickly runs towards it. Barney jumps off the port and holds on to the plane tightly as Monroe's men rain him with bullets. Despite that, Barney pulls himself into the plane only to be informed by Christmas that Sandra has refused to leave Vilena. Although it's not part of the plan, Barney takes over the wheel and maneuvers the plane back while Christmas gets into position. And as soon as they see the port, Christmas takes his turn to rain Monroe and his men with plain bullets. After that, Barney literally rains them with presumably gasoline, and before the men can figure it out, Christmas pulls the trigger, prompting an explosion. Monroe and his right men quickly jump into the water, saving themselves while the rest die from the blast. That night at the palace, Monroe questions Garza because his daughter, Sandra, was the one that helped Barney and Christmas. Although outnumbered and outweaponed, the duo still managed to get past security, kill 41 soldiers, and get away with it. Monroe threatens not to make Sandra an exemption, even though she's Garza's daughter if she messes with him again. As Garza leaves Monroe's office, the giant sniper of the Expendables comes in, carrying a shotgun. Gunner makes a deal with Monroe that night for $100,000. On the other hand, Barney discovers that Church is the front of the CIA, and he has hired them to take out an ex-CIA agent, Monroe. Monroe got greedy and teamed up with Garza to keep the drug operations for themselves. Monroe keeps Garza in power by making the townspeople terrified of him. Barney discusses his discovery with Christmas and Yang, who have agreed to break the deal off. The following day, Christmas revisits Lacey, only to learn that her new boyfriend has beaten her up. Pissed off, Christmas confronts Lacey's boyfriend, who's playing basketball with his friends. Christmas tries to confront the boyfriend calmly, but when he badmouths Lacey, Christmas snaps and beats them up swiftly, showing her what he does for a living. That night, Barney goes to Toole to ask for a piece of advice as he cannot get Sandra's braveness and dedication to Vilena out of his mind. Instead of answering directly, Toole makes an emotional confession about letting a woman commit suicide during the Bosnian War and how it damaged his soul permanently. This means that women will do and sacrifice everything, even their lives, to save the things and people they love and protect. On the other hand, Sandra gets captured by Monroe's men and is questioned by Monroe about the Americans' purpose on the island. Garza attempts to meddle and castigate Sandra, who reasons that he might as well kill her as he has almost killed everyone on the island. Monroe's men take over and force Sandra to reveal the Americans' purpose on the island by waterboarding her. After that, they hold her hostage when they fail to get the truth out of her. The following day, Barney decides to return to Vilena to save Sandra, which makes Christmas angry. On the other hand, Yang insists on coming along despite Barney's disapproval. While on the road, Yang confesses that he needs more money because he works harder than the rest. He explains that because of his stature, it's difficult for him to beat up tall and large guys, and whenever he does, he's left with big wounds and scratches. As they stop because of the stoplight, Gunner and some of Monroe's men ambush them. Fortunately, they used a bulletproof car, and the ambush quickly turns into a car chase. Barney maneuvers the car while Yang gets out there and engages in a firefight with Gunner. The pursuit leads to an abandoned warehouse where Yang and Gunner fight a second time. Yang uses the low clearance floor ceiling to his advantage as he attacks Gunner, who always hits his head. However, Yang's time to attack ends, and Gunner takes his turn. He picks Yang up and tries to impale him on a pipe when Barney fortunately recovers and shoots Gunner. Although the shot's a couple of inches above his heart, Gunner's still severely wounded. Despite that, Barney repeatedly asks who sent him, and Gunner whispers something to his ears. After that, Barney and Yang get onto the plane, welcomed by the Expendables, including Christmas. They disagree with Barney's decision, but he's still their friend. That same day, the Expendables take their big plane to the island of Vilena, and while on the way there, Barney shares something with Christmas. He explains that Gunnar revealed the layout of Garza's palace, and because of this, he was able to plan how to attack. They soon arrive at Vilena and quickly get into position to take the palace down. As they do so, Garza bravely ends his business with Monroe. He believes that Monroe hired the Expendables because he cannot control, and when that didn't work, he used and tortured Sandra. Garza demands his daughter back, or he will kill Monroe without a doubt. On the other hand, the Expendables infiltrate Garza's palace with Christmas, Yang, Caesar, and Toll plant explosive charges throughout the site, including the storage full of drugs. Meanwhile, Sandra gives her best to stop two of Monroe's men who are about to sexually abuse her. However, she's tied to a chair and has a blindfold, so everything seems useless. Fortunately, Barney arrives just in time and kills the men with Gunnar's blade. After that, he frees Sandra and calms her down before leaving her prison. They run to escape when they are suddenly captured by more of Monroe's men, including his right-hand men. Sandra gets taken away, leaving Barney choked with a rope by a soldier while Monroe's right-hand men beat him up. They force him to reveal how many men he got around the palace, but Barney refuses to tell them and mocks them instead. Not long after, Yang, Caesar, Christmas, and other members of the Expendables appear and rescue their leader. Yang and Christmas help each other beat up and defeat one of Monroe's right-hand men, while Barney attempts to conquer the other despite being weak from being choked to death. However, he fails, and Monroe's right-hand man chokes him to death. Fortunately, the enemy sees Caesar killing Monroe's men one by one with his big weaponry and runs away after that. The Expendables open the main gate when they see dozens of Garza's soldiers waiting outside. They immediately get back to hide, and Garza calls them out, telling them to surrender their weapons and themselves as there's no way out. They know it's true as they rig the whole building with explosives, and now they're cornered and outweaponed. Garza makes a speech to his men and the townspeople, apologizing for being blind and selfish. He claims that he will remove the American disease, referring to Monroe as well as the Expendables. However, Monroe repeatedly shoots him while he's making his speech before leaving with Sandra and his right-hand man to escape in their helicopter. Garza's body falling off the balcony triggers his soldiers to rain the Expendables with bullets. The other members tell Barney to blow the building, but he refuses until Sandra's out there. Christmas quickly informs Barney as he sees Sandra out of the building. Upon hearing this, Barney presses the button, blowing the charges inside the palace, destroying it, and disrupting the attack. After that, they emerge from the main gate and attack dozens of soldiers throughout the compound, executing them all with the big weaponry at their disposal. Barney immediately runs after Monroe and his right-hand man, whom he fights a third time. Toll and Christmas join in and defeat the right-hand man by putting him on fire. After that, Barney and Caesar destroy the helicopter Monroe was supposed to use to escape. Left with no way out, Monroe holds Sandra hostage and tries to convince Barney that they're the same. They're both mercenaries and dead inside, so it confuses him why Barney went after him. Barney clarifies that he's not there for him, he's there for Sandra. After that, he quickly pulls out his gun and repeatedly shoots Monroe, who dies after Christmas pricks a blade in him. As the morning comes, Barney gives the payment for completing the mission to Sandra to restore the Vilena and bring back its beauty. They bid goodbyes, and Barney and the rest of the Expendable team celebrate their victory at Tool's tattoo parlor. This time they're whole again as a recovering and reformed Gunnar joins them. He's also will go and see a therapist. The film ends with Christmas reciting a personalized poem about his respect for Tool before throwing the blade knife perfectly in the center of the board. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more videos like this and to help the channel grow.